Another key factor about statistics is the most production that you're ever going to lose is the production that should have occurred and didn't. The most money you're ever going to lose is money you should have earned and didn't. This is lost income that is never to be regained. And Mr. Hubbard makes that very clear in the following quote.
There is some degree of loss in a failure to prevent unreal and unprofitable expenditure, but the greater loss to finance is income lost or never made.
Every now and then, I'll see a graph, and it's up. In fact, it's going very high. And then there's a crash, and it drops. And inquiring as to the nature of the drop, I say, well, what happened? Oh, well, it was so high that I knew it would come down. No, it's so high because it was not evaluated as to what caused it to go up. If you don't inspect what causes it to go up, how can you possibly know what causes it to go down? Yet, you know what I'll hear on that down week? The next week, if it goes up, here's what I hear. Oh, that's okay. Yeah, it's true. We lost $20,000 that week, but we made up for it next week. Really? So, let's say you had a bad July, but you had a good August. So then August can loan it to July. Say, oh, we have an exit. No. The most production, the most money you're ever going to lose is the money you should have made or the production you should have made and didn't. So what does that mean? Well, that means if you want a good month, then you got to have a good week. And when you want a good week, you got to have good days. That means that the closer you are to the action, the more stat you can keep. This is a very key element of statistical management.
The closer one is to the scene of the stat, the more rapidly it can be adjusted, and the smaller the amount of time per stat needed to interpret it. In short, the closer one is to a statistic, the easier it is to interpret it, and the easier it is to change it.
Fortunately, management by statistics software allows you to track by hour, by week, by day, by year, by quarter. And why is this so important? Well, let's just take an example. Supposing that I am a salesman and I'm selling chimney cleaning. Okay? I'm calling on the phone around to various homes and I'm saying, we can clean your chimney. What statistic am I going to keep? What, as an owner, do I want that salesman tracking what stat? Let's examine this. Well, number of sales made per month. Oh, okay. So at the end of the month, the stats are down. Now what? A good month is made up of good weeks. So yeah, it would be number of sales per week, but a good week is made up of good days. See, somebody who's making phone calls like that, you could probably staticize them by hour. How'd I do this hour? My stats are up. Good, I'm going to reinforce it. Now, you don't have to go that far. It could be, certainly would have to be daily. Why? Because if it wasn't a very good day and you had two not so good days, we know that week is headed down. So that person better get on the stick and really get productive and effective. But if we don't find out till the end of the week, the horse has already left the barn. Makes sense, no? Now, if you're involved in an area that's further, at one time I was managing 6 different major or consulting 6 different major companies, and I happened to be in England at the time, and they were in the United States. Well, certainly my statistic wasn't going to be daily or even weekly. No, it was based upon a trend. So because you're further away, you can manage by trend, which is another kind of piece of technology that you can find out more about.
To read the stat trend, one needs to visually average the peaks and valleys over a specific time period on the graph. It is done with the eye. There is no internal system of lines that can be drawn to assist this. One sits back and looks at the pattern as a whole, and there is a definite pitch or slant that one can determine by this. That is the stat trend.
So you have daily stats in certain cases, you have weekly stats in certain cases, monthly in certain cases, and of course you can go on further, and you have yearly trends as well. So this is another important factor of management by statistics.